I just can't take no pleasure in killing. Just some things you gotta do. Don't mean you have to like.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
You want to know what happens to an eyeball when it gets punctured? So you got any idea how much blood jets out of a guy's neck when his throat's been slit?
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Where the dead have What is up, everyone? DJ Nubis.
Ooh, that was fire.
Fire.
New intro. I love it.
Yeah. Had to change a few things up, get a little more fancy with it, but yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes, unfortunately.
It was good.
I mean, I'm still finding YouTube is like finding older videos and there's like, yeah, there's like a problem here. You can't monetize this, but I'm like, I'm not going back to change it. It's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
At that point. But we are the Ghouls of Midnight. You can see behind me, this is my co-host, good friend, Mr. Tony the Dead, my ghoul brother from another ghoul mother. And what we do here on this show is weekly we go through alternate picks, pick a movie to review and sit down, check it out. Sometimes it can be past, present, or future. This time, episode 121, I chose 2025's Compulsion, which I did not know initially was directed by Neil Marshall, who directs like one of my favorite werewolf films of all time with Dog Soldiers. But he's also done The Descent. But this is his first stab, no pun intended, with Giallo and erotic thriller. So this was a bit of an interesting change up from what I'm used to from him. But as always, let's check out the trailer. We'll come back. We'll break it down and talk a little bit about Compulsion.
We've got a homicide.
They're calling them Maltese Phantom.
Catchy.
I'm Diana. And you?
Evelina. People call me Evie.
You traveling alone?
The killer isn't local.
What evidence they got?
You think he's dangerous?
When push comes to shove, aren't we all? Impressive collection. Is that an original katana?
Someone is playing games with us. Why are you being so nice to me?
You remind me of me.
What shall we toast to?
Your education. Remember the end game.
You don't need to be scared.
There you go. Compulsion.
Mm-hmm.
It is an erotic thriller. On the island of Malta, two women get engaged in a string of horrifying murders. As I said, directed by Neil Marshall, stars Charlotte Kirk, Matthew Camilleri, and Zach McGowan, but also our other lead, which is Anna Marie Sieklucka. I know I probably butchered the shit out of that name, but she plays Evie in this. This was also written by Marshall and Kirk, so I'll say right off the bat that I thought that Charlotte Kirk was gorgeous. Like, I mean, the other girl is beautiful too, but the screen presence of Kirk is just like outstanding. Like, and the chemistry between both women was amazing. Like, I really liked the way that they portrayed their, stuff on film.
Yeah. Interesting way of putting it.
So basically, the film kind of starts off. You get this guy who's in a shower, and then this figure in like leather comes up and just starts like slashing. Which one thing I really liked was the slash, like how the special effects were. Like that looked like legit. Like it was crazy how close that was, the cuts and stuff. So kudos to Marshall for doing that, making it look as real as possible in there. But this, like I said, this is different than anything you've seen from like The Descent and Dog Soldiers, all kind of like monsters, where this is just a more of a slash and mystery of a guess who type of thing. It does have some like flaws, not so much with the two main ladies, but really the rest of the cast. They're not quite as seasoned, I guess. I don't know how long they've been acting, but
Yeah.
I did read that. I did read with another review, and I kind of agreed with them that the rest of the cast it's hard because their acting is not up to snuff to the two main actresses. So
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed there with that. But this film did leave me guessing the entire time about like who was going to be killed. Every time I thought I figured it out, then I go, oh wait a minute. And eventually, though, as you get towards the end, it gets a little more clear, which we'll get into. But I wanted to get your thoughts first of what you thought about it when you watched it.
Well, I thought at first this was going to be a found footage, and I thought, wow, he picked a found footage movie, and then it's like, no. But yeah, I agree that that shower scene in the very beginning, I was like, whoa, holy! I was not expecting that, and it was brutal, and then, like you said, it looked real, especially. I mean, every kill in this looked brutal as hell. And it just started off with that. And then I think what really kind of did take me out of it too at times was that seasoned acting, as you say, like that female detective, her acting was trash. Maybe it's because she's had to speak English. Maybe it'd be different in Italian, but I don't know. But yeah, I could see that like there's a night and day difference in between the acting. But those two girls, man, it's like the female sexual energy of what's his name and Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves in Point Break. Yeah, it's like
because there's that scene like, so basically Evie is like a young woman who is living on this island, and the house that she's at is her father's. I can't remember what it was. But he's not there. Like, he's married and he's with his wife somewhere, but she's staying there. And there's clearly, she doesn't like him for whatever reason. We don't know right away. Yeah. And then you have Charlotte Kirk's character, which I can't remember her acting name in this. Let me pull it up real quick.
Evie?
No, that was the other one.
Diana.
Diana. So she is working with this guy played by Zach McGowan called Reese, and they're trying to get into the safe, and it's actually a high-tech safe type shit. You have to have like your retinal scans and all sorts of shit to get into, but she's basically working with this guy to try to get whatever money, because they know that this guy has money. So they're planning on duping Evie to try to get into the safe, but Reese has got some like debts that he's got to owe to some dude that's been hounding him about paying him back. But Diana, of course, wants just to get the money to be rich. It's like she's a thief.
Yeah.
But as the story goes along, Diana is clearly like attracted to like the innocence or whatever you want to call from Evie, because Evie's kind of quiet and she's not like real rambunctious. And then there's just like you said, there's this hot fucking scene, dude, where Diana's like seducing Reese, and it's the whole like, if you ever saw 10 with Dudley Moore and he's watching through the scope, Evie's looking across down to the window or the door, and Reese is like taking care of business with Diana, and Diana's looking straight up into the darkened room of Evie, because Evie's like touching herself, like she can't really see her, but she knows. Evie will spy on her, and that's like a really hot scene. And then of course later on they have their own little pool scene and stuff, which is incredibly sexy as fuck. But
oh my god,
so I mean, the movie does keep you guessing, and of course throughout all this you have this killer that's going around that's slicing up these dudes that are actually connected to Evie in some way, whether it's like a taxi driver or a guy that's been trying to hit on her at a bar. And you think, okay, well, it's probably Diana, because the way that Diana, she seems dangerous, just in the way that her persona is. But I read somewhere, someone's like, there's a scene it's kind of hard to watch, but at the same time, I'm like, I get kind of annoyed by it because it drags on. It's when they kill Reese.
Yeah.
It just goes on forever.
It does, but wow, what a continuous shot that they did.
I think they said it took like 6 or 9 minutes to do that, and it was one shot.
And then you think he's dead.
Yeah.
He gets up again. And it's like, Holy shit. Like it actually like made me like, like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like it was eerie. It felt
Yeah.
real. It felt real.
And that's what the reviewer was saying, is that, it gave you a sense of like, because obviously at one point Reese just loses his shit and tries to choke out Diana, and then that's when Evie comes in and helps her, and they're both stabbing the shit out of this guy. And he collapses, and you think, okay, it's over. And then all of a sudden he starts moving, and they just start doing it again. But the way the guy explained it in the review was that you can kind of understand, because you're wrestling around with a guy who's trying to grab the knife and fight back, and it's like you get tired, fatigue from trying to attack him. And and the way that they made it sound, like the impaling is like, it's like right on point.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Right. And but it does drag on for me a little bit. I don't know if it's just maybe because I felt uneasy, like you said. It's a very unnerving scene.
Yeah.
Even though you don't really feel bad for Reese, it's kind of like, honey, come on, he's dead.
Yeah.
Let's just be done with it.
Yeah. At first, he's like, "Get the fuck away from me, you two. Just get away." He's just like, I'm stabbed. Just let me fuck out of here, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
he's like, nope, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, they just kept going at it.
Yep.
But as we get towards the end, it starts to get revealed now, like Evie, and this is where spoilers come in. So if people that are watching this and you want to watch it, just come back, pause it, come back later, because we will get into spoilers here. But as we get towards the end, it then becomes Diana. They find out that one of the katana swords that's in the house was used in one of the killings for the guy that was harassing her at the bar. So the cops come, as you said, the lady detective and her partner, and they come and arrest Evie because the katana belonged to her dad, and it was one of the weapons. So they figure it's her.
Yeah.
And Diana's like, I don't think that's possible. And then, and I'm thinking, well, maybe Diane, set her up, which I think we did kind of find out she was trying to do a little bit, but eventually Diane tries to call Evie, or gets like a text, and then she goes and finds out that Evie's phone is upstairs in a luggage case, and she opens up and there's a head of a woman in there. Now, the backstory there is Evie had a girlfriend that she had separated with. No pun intended.
No.
Yeah. And so they separated. So she was kind of going through this breakup. So early on, when Diana's trying to hit on her and get intimate, she's like, "Nah, I got a girlfriend. I can't betray her. Yada yada yada." Anyway, Diana finds the head in his bag, and so she's shocked. And so now she kind of realizes, well, Evie's not exactly who she says she is. And then you get this climatic scene towards the end, where the female cop shows up, and it just kind of starts going downhill from there, because Evie steps away, the cop is talking to Diana, and then all of a sudden Evie comes back in her garb and slashes her throat of the cop.
Yeah.
And that's when Diana and Evie have this showdown of whether or not they're gonna kill each other or they're just gonna walk away. But then they get interrupted because Daddy-O comes home with his wife, and they look at her, and that's when Evie kind of basically explains it to her mom that, Dad's been raping me since I was 14. And so that's why she's fucked up in the head. And then she's been the one killing these guys for whatever reason, whether they're just being sexist pigs or whatever. But Evie has clearly been, killing some of these people. I don't know if it was Diana that killed the bar guy or not, because like I said, the idea was Evie discovered that Diana was trying to set her up. So I'm thinking the katana was used for that. Might have been Diana on that one.
Yeah. When the cop has those flashes where she thinks who killed, I think that's who killed them. I think these ones, I think she figured it out.
She unveiled it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'll tell you what, I was guessing a lot too. And at that point in time, I didn't know who the head was at first. I thought she found Evie's phone and called the girlfriend or something like that. And then her girlfriend's phone was in the purse, but I didn't realize it was Evie's. And I'm like, whose head is that? And then this whole time when they flashback, oh, I miss you, I wish you were here. I thought, oh, tell me that the girlfriend is here killing people.
That's what I thought early on. I thought it was the actual girlfriend that had come in and started killing people to try to get back to Evie.
Yeah.
And so, in some ways, that would have been kind of a cool plot because if you're not really paying attention to that past, you wouldn't really think about it because you're too busy concentrating on everybody else.
Right.
And that's the other thing too, is like once you get the idea that Evie was using two phones between her girlfriend and herself to do these communications, I'm assuming to try to throw off anybody who knew her girlfriend had disappeared because she's dead. Yeah. But I thought maybe that reveal was a little too early initially, but certainly that kind of like the minute I saw the head, I was like, oh, okay, I know what's going on now. She killed her girlfriend. and so, so Evie ends up becoming like, you know, the killer. And eventually the cops catch her. And so they take her in to get a psych eval and all this stuff at the hospital because she's been shot or stabbed or one of the two. I can't remember which. And Diana, of course, she decides, well, I'm going to go still get the money because she cuts out the eyeball of the dad because that's what she needed.
Great.
Yeah.
Just goes up like this. And I'm like, oh, my God.
And it was funny because Evie's like, my dad doesn't have money. And somehow Diana knew it. So she got in there and got the money and stuff. And
there's gold in there and everything.
But I didn't catch initially that the girl detective that died, her dad was the head guy at the precinct.
Yeah.
So when he went, he was going to go kill Evie in the hospital, and that's when the lady detective's partner chased him down. Which, you know, part of me sitting there going like, I really can't understand this too much, just because from a logical perspective. But here it is: this guy's grieving over his daughter being killed by this girl who's a serial killer, and you know, he's like, you know, you killed my baby. And Evie's like, no fucks are given. So I was like cracking up. But then like the other guy shows up and he shoots the cop to prevent him from killing Evie. And I'm kind of like, what? I mean, I know he's not doing the right thing by trying to kill her, but it's like, if you had to choose a poison.
Yeah. Or he could have not killed him. He could have just shot him in the arm or shot him in the hand.
I'm just like, you know, I guess that was a way to kind of leave the door open because obviously Diana takes the boat that was owned by the father and she's got the money. She's gone.
Oh, yeah.
But now we have Evie who just has all this blood all over her face from the shot from the cop. She kind of smiles at the other cop, and that's almost like, uh-oh, she's going to try to lure this guy in. And so that can kind of be like to an opening for her to get out for another movie if they chose to go that route. But it was a very interesting film to say the least. And what are your final thoughts and ratings on Compulsion?
Well, at first I wasn't really digging it much. I was like, this movie doesn't know what it wants to fucking be. It's like, and the whole like bad acting or language, whatever that word is, lost in translation kind of thing. Maybe that, I don't know why, but the acting was bad on them. And I didn't even care about, like, they didn't even need the police scenes. Just work on the whole Reese and the girls and all that shit. And that was way more interesting because every time they went back to the cops, I was like, oh yeah, the cops. Like, I don't care about the cop. And, but like their whole story was so much more interesting. Now this is an erotic thriller. If like, I know it says it, but like, this is erotic thriller if I ever saw one. Yeah. Holy shit, I was horny this whole movie. But it also had great practical effects, which I loved. But yeah, I was pretty surprised. It really redeemed itself, I'll tell you that much. I like that it's open-ended. I'd like to see what happens. I like both girls, and I know you like Diana, but Evie.
Well, I mean, Evie was beautiful too. But something about Diana. Diana, her eyes, man, alone just like made me melt. I'm like, oh, yeah. I like it. Like if she was like a killer, I'd be dead because I just couldn't do anything. I'd be like hypnotized.
Kill me now.
Just have sex with me first. Kill me afterwards.
Praying mantis me. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, she they're incredibly gorgeous, especially the way Evie talked with that accent and that. Oh my God. Shayna's over here and I'm like, this girl's amazing. And then I'm telling her the female cop, the detective, I'm like, just shut up, just stay pretty, don't talk. Like, 'cause it's terrible. I'm sorry. I know that's like, I'm a man who's
I'm looking at her profile on IMDb for the detective, and she looks gorgeous. Like,
oh yeah, she's gorgeous. But
so they really planed her down for that detective role.
It's like Kat Dennings. It's like, wow, look at her, and then she opens her mouth. You know, like, just don't talk. I don't know. I know I'm an asshole for saying that, but I don't care. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm just gonna say I'll give it about an 8. Yeah, I liked it. Okay. Surprisingly, I liked it. I was really not thinking I was gonna. Like, right away in the beginning, I'm like, oh man, this sucks. What did he pick? What the fuck is this movie?
What is Anubis doing, man? Like, seriously.
Stop picking with your dick and watch a movie. No.
But yeah, so I agree. I agree with you. Like, I think when it starts out, you're kind of like, at first, what are we getting into? Because I wasn't really sure, and like I said, it made me pause a little more, because halfway through I kind of went to look up the information. I said, well, Neil Marshall, he's like Dog Soldiers Neil Marshall. like what am I watching here? But as the movie goes along, again, like you said, they really could have put more or less emphasis on the cops and just stuck with the main 3, because that dynamic alone was very good. And especially with the 2 girls, again, they have wonderful on-screen chemistry. Like, I thought when I saw Twisted and the 2 girls in that, like the one girl from Terrified that's in that, like, they had good chemistry. But this was like, this is stuff that this is like porn type, better than porn type stuff. Like,
yeah, it felt like they actually cared for each other.
Yeah. Yeah, they just rocked it, man. Like, that's what I like too. I like actors that make it believable. Like, when you're watching a film and you're watching the story unfold, you want to believe that they actually are the people they're portraying. Yeah. So they were just wonderful. I thought amazing chemistry. Okay. But I'm right with you. 8 out of 10 easily. You know, it has its flaws, like I said, because of the other parts of the film, the other actors, which I know they gave their best. I'm not trying to diss them, but I'm just kind of surprised too, because, you know, Neil's not like a new director or a low budget name. I'm just wondering how, maybe he did this on his own. I don't know, but I just wish he would have kind of like upped the acting on the other part of it a little bit better. It would have helped the film a lot more. It probably would have been one of my favorite films of the year from last year if it had done that. Because if you would have got better actors to do the cops, it would have been a saving grace, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still 8 out of 10. I still recommend this for someone to check out at least once. It's fun and steamy if you like that kind of stuff. Yeah. And if you're like a Giallo fan, man, you'll enjoy it, because it's definitely in that range of that kind of stuff. I do have my pick for next week. I'm changing it up just a little bit. So we will be checking out next week for my pick, Kraken.
Oh,
it came out from last year. So you'll be seeing this next week, Mr. Tony. Meanwhile, we'll be going to his channel, and for his pick this week is a movie called Blood Barn. And so meet us there once you've done watching this, and then you can go see what we say about Blood Barn over there.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. Have you seen this? What did you think? Are we way off, or should we give it a higher score? Like, what do you feel about it? And like and subscribe to Mr. Tony the Dead, please. And me as well, if you don't mind. At least enjoy all the support.
If you're watching by now, you might as well, right? If you're still watching, you might as well.
Yeah. If you're already here and you're still hooked, just do it. Just do it. Be like Tom Hardy. Give me the thumbs up. Anywho, we'll see you next time. Next week. Same channel. Rock it out. We are the Ghouls of Midnight.
Have a cool night.
Just for you.